This is The Spot, a BYU-Idaho radio production where we talk about what you talk about at BYU-Idaho. Today we are here with
Jack Esplin.
Abigale Maxfield.
And my name is Grace Andrus.
Awesome. Today we're starting our multi-episode series where we're talking about things we wish we knew before we came to school. And so kind of talking about just living in Rexburg, but also like specifically to BYU-Idaho. And so today we just kind of wanted to dive into a couple things about like housing and like parking and also move-in day. Like when you get here, like what do you do? Where do you go? Yeah. Like, I don't know. For me, move-in day is always so chaotic, but we'll get there. But
yeah, true. I was like, let's start there.
We're going to like jump right in. But yeah, so I guess for me, like what is... Because, like, okay, so when I'm looking for, like, a place to live in Rexburg, and this is, like, ever since my very first semester, I'm always like, I want in-unit laundry. Like, that was, like, my non-negotiable. So, like, what do you guys, like, what are your biggest factors in, like, when you look for housing?
I mean, in-unit laundry is, I think, a little bit overlooked sometimes, at least for me. Like, for my wife, right, before we were married, she never had it.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, when we got married, she was like, this is so nice. But I had never had laundry outside of my apartment. So I guess I just took it for granted, you know? But yeah, that's definitely one. But I think another big one for me is just the location, you know, where you are. Because if you're in a place that's in a more central hub, right? Like I lived in North Point for a few semesters.
Yeah.
Dude, you have Cafe Rio right, you know, in your basement.
Yeah.
You know, and then you have...
Can be bad.
Yeah, I know. Like you get... It's like, dude, I'm like racking up, you know, but you can rack up all the points on the app too, right?
Okay.
So that's good.
Get
Then
that
you have like,
deal.
you know, yeah, exactly. You have all those places nearby. So I think location, for me at least, is a big one.
Yeah. I think, honestly, I didn't realize that laundry was such a big deal until my first semester. I lived with laundry that was across the parking lot. And like, just, I don't know, I go a long time in between like laundry. And so having to like lug it all the way and like drag it across the parking lot was just not good. So I don't know. I feel like at least for me, I think laundry. I think that like I would pay $100 more a month for in-unit laundry.
Agreed.
Because it's, I don't know. Location, I don't know. I've recently found out how awesome having on-campus parking is. And now I'm like, I could live anywhere because I can park anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I love, like, being within, like, a few blocks of campus, like, because I never had a campus parking pass. I had, like, a long-term parking pass. But anyways, I've never had a campus parking pass. I never, like, driven to class. And I'm, like, slowly realizing that I should probably just get one because I'm, like, I don't want to go to class. I don't want to get onto campus, like, because it's, like, a 20-minute walk for me now where it used to be, like, a 10 to 15, depending on. But, like, I think for some people, something that gets overlooked, especially for people like incoming, is proximity to like the appropriate building they're going to be spending time in. So like if you're like an auto engineer, you probably want to be like close to the Austin, but people are living like on the northwest side of campus and then they're like forever away from it and it's like a 30-minute walk to their building. And I'm just like, dude, you got to live closer. Like you got to live to your building. And so that's something that I think gets overlooked for a lot of other people because I hear people just like complaining about the walk and I'm just like, well, like, you kind of shot yourself in the foot there, you know?
You did that.
Specifically, I lived at the lodge, and the walk is like 20, 25 minutes. But they recently just bought a bus
Oh,
for
heck
the
yeah.
lodge.
For the
So now
lodge.
they have like a little lodge shuttle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, honestly, I think that's worth because the landing has a shuttle. So if you're looking at housing, like, see how far it is from your classes that you're mostly in. And then also if they have a shuttle or if they're close to like the Walmart shuttle, which is going away, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, what?
I heard it's going away because the the Winco that they're building is right next to Walmart.
Uh-huh.
And so Walmart's like, I'm not going to pay for a shuttle that's going to just take people to Winco because it's like right across the
I
street.
guess that's a good point.
Interesting.
That's a rumor, so don't fact check me out. Brother Isle told me about this, so yeah. You
Probably
can-
facts then.
Yeah, it's probably facts.
Yeah, I was like, honestly, Brother Isle's a pretty reliable source.
Yeah, that's
I would say
pretty
so.
True.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting that this Walmart shuttle might be going away. But yeah, I think that that's a really big pro for a lot of people when they live in maybe housing that's like slightly farther. Like I'm always surprised that the Gates doesn't have a van or a
so far.
shuttle of
It
some
is,
kind because it's
definitely.
far from campus. Like it doesn't matter where on campus you're trying to go. It's like already a 15-minute walk and then even further for anything further than that. So I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's crazy. But Yeah, I think that for me, because my very first semester I lived in on-campus housing, so I lived like in Center Square, and I just like wasn't a very big fan of it, and so I moved, and then I moved to Nauvoo because I heard it was like really social and had like this really fun environment, and I like loved my time there. Like I lived there for like 6 semesters and just like thought it was a blast. So for me, like the longer I lived here, the more I appreciated like the social culture of like different apartment complexes.
Social culture, that's a big one for me too. Nauvoo, I had the same experience there.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Like, because where else have I been? I've been at Shelbourne. I think it's by the lodge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was like very different when you talk about like social culture, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Nauvoo is definitely up there. I think that was probably the most social place that I've lived at. I think I've lived at like 5 complexes. But yeah, Nauvoo, like, and it's just interesting because it's like, how does that culture build itself in the first place?
Yeah.
You know, like how does that get there? But now it's there and it's always been there.
And it's
you know,
and I think it always will be, because now it's like Nauvoo is social. So then social people are like, okay, I'll go to Nauvoo. And
Exactly.
it just stays that way.
Yeah.
So I don't know how it got there in the first place.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I like loved it. And I think that I think one part or aspect of that housing complex that kind of plays into that is mostly that you walk outside and you're like immediately outside.
True.
And so and then when it's warm, people like leave their doors open, so you can just like walk into people's apartments and you're just like, hey, and like you just like go visit your
Because
neighbor.
there's no AC at Nauvoo.
There's no AC at the guy's side. There's Nauvoo on the women's side.
Okay.
Yeah. The guys get a little cheated in the summer months, and I don't really understand that. But but yeah, so I think that for me, because then after I left Nauvoo, I was just like looking for something a little different. I went to the towers, and I was back in that kind of hotel style hallway, and I like did not like that. Like I was like, I just didn't feel like an adult like with my own home. Does that make sense? Like I felt like I was just like indoors still, and I just didn't like it. It was just like,
you're
it's
like
like
captivated or something.
yeah, like I don't even I'm sure there's like something in my brain that's like, you're just not outside yet, and I'm just like, it's throwing me off.
I get it, because I feel like it's Sundance. Even though Sundance is really nice, it does feel very hospital-y because there's big white lights.
Oh yeah.
And huge hallways, and it's like, I should be like, what is it called, a gurney? That's like what it feels like.
like
It's
being wheeled around.
yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it's like, I think that, and like I don't know, I find that with most complexes, especially like newer ones, tend to do like more indoor, like North Point, the Cove, Cedars, Sundance, like the Lodge. Those are all kind of like higher end, like on the price point range.
Yeah.
And like although there are some good like social atmospheres like in those areas, like I don't know, just not being outside, I'm just like, there's just something about it.
Yeah.
Right? So that one is like a weird little thing that I have where I'm like, what the heck? But yeah, did you have any like housing complexes where you lived and you were just like, I didn't like it and here were my reasons why? Or did you have any that you like loved and here are your reasons why?
I think Shelbourne is definitely one that I didn't like, which was unfortunate, you know, because I was there with one of my high school best friends, which was so fun being with him, you know, but it was interesting too, because us two, we were in our like a shared apartment, like a shared room, I guess, and then all of our other roommates were in private rooms.
Oh yeah.
So like it was great for us too, because you know we just had fun just hanging out with each other all semester. But all of our other roommates, like none of us would really talk to each other. Yeah. And you know there was not very much sunlight that would be let in to the apartment too. So it was like, oh man, like it was just always dark in there, you know. And I was like, dang, like this, you know, doesn't really help with the vibe and everything. So I think that was definitely, you know, lower end for me. But then, yeah, higher end, like we've already touched on, Nauvoo was great. Colonial was solid too, but I think Nauvoo and North Point, it's like between those two, because also at North Point, I was rooming with like all my best friends. Yeah. You know, it wasn't as many like random people, you know, so I don't know. And plus North Point also has the location aspect to it.
Yeah, North Point.
Right, which was huge because it's like you're right by everything. You're right by campus, you know. That's a big one. But I would say rooming with friends and rooming with people that you get along with is definitely like top priority for me.
Yeah.
You know? That's just me though.
I think that's so fair. I feel like you can live anywhere as long as you have like, as long as you know who you're living with, I guess. But wait, what did you say? Which one did you say was like you're on your bottom?
Shelbourne.
Shelbourne. Okay.
Yeah.
Shelbourne looks dark.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's men's only too. I'm
It
pretty
is,
sure.
yeah.
Is it? Okay, yeah.
I had
Yeah.
a similar experience though at the lodge because the lodge is so nice and I like the open floor plan.
oh my
Like
gosh.
it has like such a big what?
The hallways at the lodge scare me. Like they're
Really?
like dimly lit, and I always feel like I'm gonna get like
Bro, I thought there was something else
like
happening.
the
I was like,
like the twins from The Shining are just gonna be like around any corner. Like I'm always just
Okay,
like ah.
well, that's what I was gonna say. Is like the floor plan is so nice and open,
Mm-hmm.
but it's so dark,
It's
and like
so
the
dark.
furniture and like the walls and the cabinets are dark,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was kind of like, and they have this tiny little light at the top that's also on a fan, and it's like, okay. So I would say the lodge is definitely on my lower end, and then I lived at Nauvoo, and honestly, I had a lot of fun with it, but then I had really bad roommates.
Oh,
So that was like, it was kind of hard. And I was also going through it. So I was also like partially living at home. But I do know that Nauvoo is good. It's been good to both of my brothers. And so I'm like, I trust in Nauvoo. And then I lived at Colonial and I actually really liked Colonial. I felt like it was like an older version of Nauvoo.
Yeah.
And it had in-unit laundry, but I was still like with a pretty social group. I don't know. So I like Colonial. I've liked it so far.
yeah. I like loved Nauvoo. And I think the roommates like play a huge part in that because we had such a good group of
Mhm.
people that we would all like staying, or like somebody would move out and we get a new one and they were just like awesome. And so then we just had like this really consistent like rotation of people that were just like made it so much better, and we were all like super close today still. And so
Wow.
I think that like just played like a huge
That's good.
yeah, I think that just
Let's
like
go.
played a huge
A
role in that like being such a positive experience for me. So, yeah. With housing, something that like Grace pointed out, which I like low-key forgot about, when you live in student approved housing for BYU-Idaho, it is required that you have a mattress
Yes,
protector.
you have to have one, and they
yeah.
do mattress protector
They
checks.
check.
So
Yeah.
all of the freshmen, you need one, and they will literally check.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like they come and they like lift up your sheets and like look, and if you don't have one, you have like 4 days to get one, or like you'll be charged, or they'll like provide you with one and you'll be charged for it.
Yeah,
Like,
you have to pay for it. And
Yeah.
It's way more expensive if they provide it for you.
yeah.
So I just remember being like, I moved up and I didn't have one, and I also didn't know that was like something you should have. I don't know. I just always had one. I don't really know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've been using a queen on all of my twin beds ever since I started college, and I just like fold it like 4 times
Oh my gosh.
underneath because I'm like, I'm not gonna buy one. And maybe I should have. It's been a long time, but yeah, mattress covers.
Yeah.
That's how it goes, man. I know. I totally forgot about those, because now, married housing, we've never had to use one, which is nice. And we also don't have clean checks, which is
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
bonus.
It's amazing.
big time bonus. Yeah, I'm like,
Yes.
wow, like I totally forgot about the hassle of clean checks. Now I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, we just, keep our apartment nice and we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So it's beautiful.
Mhm. Yeah, I understand why they need to conduct clean checks, because if they didn't, people wouldn't
Yeah.
clean their apartments.
Yeah.
So like
True.
I totally understand it from that perspective, but it's once you don't have them anymore, whether you age out of housing, whether you graduate, whatever, it's like you're just like, whoo, thank you.
Yeah. I remember just like the fear instilled in me that like I had to like, deep clean everything. I just was so stressed. And like my roommates were way more stressed than I was. I was like, no, it's fine. And they're like, you don't know. Because they've been there. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, we can just tidy up. They're like, no. Like, anyways. So ever since then, I've had a couple of roommates here and there that are like very like, do you need me to help you with that? Do you want me to do it? Because I'm like
Mhm.
way more chill than they are. And I'm
Yeah.
it's just like kind of scary. It kind of like fear monger you a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
I'll fine you
yeah.
so much money.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yes, they are real, but like you don't need to stress too much,
Yeah.
but get them done.
Yeah, and you'll have
Definitely.
clean checks conducted like every so often, and
Mhm.
like depending on the complex, also depends on how strict they are.
Yeah, Colonial is every other week, I think, and then they do
Mhm.
White Glove at the
Mm.
end.
Yeah, same with
Something
like
like that,
Nauvoo
yeah.
and the towers.
Oh,
So it's like
cool.
every other week and White Glove at the end.
Yeah. Or just get married and you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, true. Or just be over 25.
Well, there we go.
But yeah, so that's something that I didn't really realize was gonna occur when I first moved up, was clean checks.
Me either.
And so like yeah, I don't know. To me, it felt like the mission. Like if the housing coordinators just like dropped by, it's like your apartment better be clean. Like so, I was just like, oh yeah, like we'll just make sure it's clean when they do clean checks. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, when I first started coming to school, I didn't bring a car Did you guys bring a car your first
Yes.
semester?
I did, but
did?
I have PTSD because I didn't get a parking pass.
Oh, dude.
And so I was like, oh, that's fine. I'll just park on the street. But Rexburg has this rule that's like life or death, it feels like. And so
Yeah, literally.
Definitely.
it's seriously, but like after November 15th until March 15th, I think. Or is it November 1st?
It's December 15th to March 1st.
December 15th to March
I was like,
1st.
I had it written down, I think.
And you can't park on the street. And then you'll get ticketed by police. And then if you don't pay the ticket, it racks up. So I paid
And you can get towed.
a lot of money in parking tickets that semester. And then there was like this dirt lot that we could park in, and then they started policing the dirt lot, and then my friends and I started backing our cars up all the way to the wall where the sticker would be to avoid getting it, and it worked for a little bit until it didn't. So
Hey,
getting
not bad.
boots, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Serious PTSD. So I told myself I would never come up here again with a car if I didn't have a parking pass, because it was like so stressful.
Yeah.
So stressful.
Getting a parking pass is yeah, for anybody who like doesn't know.
Oh, dude.
First of all, if you're bringing a car, you need a parking pass. It doesn't matter what it is, if it's a city parking pass, if it's a parking pass at your complex, or if it's a long-term pass provided by the school, because they provide long-term passes where you can leave your car overnight. But you need to get one. And the hardest semester to get one is winter because of this parking ordinance, because usually people have the option to get a city parking pass, but from December 15th to March 1st, you don't have the option.
Yeah.
And so the city does provide a winter parking pass, like long-term lot type thing that's out near Rexburg Rapids.
Okay, no, that makes no sense.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they do, and they like police it, but it's a pretty expensive pass for like approximately 3 months of parking. Like I think it's over $100 when I was looking at it, or it
I
was
thought
like
it
close
was-
to 100.
I thought it was $200, and it's like 3 miles away.
Yeah,
not
it's out near
only-
Rexburg Rapids. It's
Jeez,
not
dude.
even near campus.
Not only do you have
Yeah,
to pay
that's
for
not-
it, but you can't use your car after you leave it there. So it's like, I don't know. I have beef with that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's something to just like keep in mind. And you can get like parking pass for on campus. They just digitized it. Like the process is
Yes.
100% digital. Did you just get a parking pass?
I
and
did.
experience this?
Yeah. No, I when did they digitize it? Like 2 semesters ago?
Yeah.
Something like that. It feels weird, not having it up, because I'm like, okay, I don't want to get a ticket.
Yeah.
I bought
so
one.
scary.
They said it's digital. I'm gonna trust them.
Yeah, take their word for it.
No, but it's been okay. But yeah, if there was one thing that I would have new students know about being at BYU-Idaho, it is that you need a parking pass,
You
bro.
have to have one.
That, oh my gosh, like
Parking is one of the most stressful
Oh,
things
yeah.
about living up here.
you need to know before you come up here, like just like what you were saying, Grace, because yeah, like I don't even know how many tickets it was I got my first semester.
Or how
but-
many boots I got.
Yeah, exactly,
gosh.
all that stuff. Like I think it was probably like between boots and tickets, it might have been double digits. Like,
Oh,
dude, it was
because
bad.
now boots are $90. It used to be 65,
It used to be
75.
75,
Yeah,
and
and then
now
it
it's
was like
90.
90 if you called them like after hours.
which is okay. Sorry.
I know. Okay, but the thing is that's interesting is parking is an issue, I think, on every single college campus out there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But Rexburg has an interesting thing because we don't have parking garages.
Yep.
And so that's like one of the things that Rexburg lacks. And so if you do bring a car, get a parking pass. And that doesn't even take away the stress, because sometimes you have a parking pass and nowhere to park.
Yes.
So just be aware of that if you're bringing your car.
Just make sure that you're on top of it before you get here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Because like if you know when you're coming up to school, then get on your parking pass as soon as possible. Because yeah, sometimes they do sell out, but if they don't, like, get on it. Make sure you at least have access to one. And yeah, if the long-term lot works for you, because my first semester I had a long-term pass because I didn't know that, that apartment complexes sold them or that campus sold them. So I was just like, well, I'll get a long-term lot because that was the last one available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I have to walk 15 minutes across campus from North Point to even get to my car, and then
Brutal.
you drive back across campus to go wherever you need to go,
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely just make sure that you're on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Seriously.
just
Yeah, parking passes are just, it's stressful because like if you're over like at a friend's house and you drive and it's late at night and let's say you're running a little late and your car's there past curfew, you can get booted. Like you're subject to being booted immediately. No
Yeah.
ticket, it's a boot. And then what Grace was just hitting on, if you call the towing company which this is really interesting because they're actively out patrolling and booting, but then you call them to get the boot off your car and they claim that it's after business hours and
When they're
charge
like
you extra fees when they're like out doing it. You're like, my car was booted 10 minutes
No,
ago.
seriously?
Like I know you're doing stuff right now. So it's like really stressful, but some just like price points when I was doing some research on this, but like during the 6-week summer break, so basically like the month of August and like the last week of July, the first week of September, like around that time, there is no parking permit required for city parking, but during the fall, winter, and spring, it is required. And then of course we just talked about winter, how you can't even really get one unless you're in like the city's long-term lot. And and so you can get like $90 for a city pass or $240 for a year, and then approximately $60 for campus parking passes. And then your complex, depending on where you live, if they have covered parking, such as like North Point, Cedars, or the Lodge. Oh, and the Towers has a section for that. Yeah, then the covered parking is more expensive. And they do sell out of parking passes. So just be aware of that. Because a lot of people think like, oh, surely there's enough for every resident to have one. And there's not. There's not. And so just
and there
be
probably
aware of
won't
these
be.
things.
So just be aware. Yeah. It's like not unique to Rexburg, but Rexburg does have a unique piece of that. That's different.
Yeah, especially with like the snow plowing. Like you might not understand why they can't park there during the winter, but it's like in case it snows, they need to be able to plow without potentially damaging cars. So for people who are coming from places where there is no snow plowing, like me, I'm coming from Tennessee, like we don't plow the roads. Like what do you mean? And so it's just like, oh, like that might not be like second nature to just think about that, but
true.
Yeah, and the prices for parking have like steadily gone up, just like the cost of living has.
Yeah,
like,
that just
everything.
happens.
Yeah, everything just kind of ticks up. But yeah, and there's no public transportation in Rexburg. When I first came up and I didn't bring a car, I was told I wouldn't need one, which you can get around without a car. But I personally think that if you have the opportunity to bring one, then you should, because it just overcomplicates so much if you don't.
If you can get a pass, then you should.
Yeah.
I mean, then, I don't know.
Yeah. It's almost like better to just make it work without a car if you cannot get a pass.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know. Maybe that's too bold of a claim.
Don't wanna. Yeah, it's a little risky.
I'm like, I don't know. Do whatever you feel.
But it does weigh on you. It's like super stressful. Like if you don't get one and you have a car to think of. So you're just like,
It's so true. I used to because they would boot the Lodge parking lot at midnight and the police officers would patrol at 2 a.m.
Whoa.
And so I would park my car outside until after midnight, until after they patrolled, and then I'd move it back into the Lodge. I didn't get much sleep trying to avoid all that.
You're just like, hopefully.
Yeah, it worked a couple times. I'm not promoting that, but just get a pass.
Yeah, it's there was one semester where I had to get a long-term pass because it was winter semester and I just didn't get, like, I renewed my contract and they're like, oh, we're sold out of parking passes. And I was like, I'm renewing 4 months before the start of that semester.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I was like losing my mind. I was so paranoid and I had to get a long-term pass. But before I got a long-term pass, because the long-term lot was full, and before they decided to open up more parking, like for long-term parking, I had to park it at like my dad's cousin's house, like out near Sugar City. And I was like, I need to go to work tonight and I have to go get my car like 20 minutes away. It was like 20 minutes by car, I might add. I could not walk there. So I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really stressful. So,
It
but
can be.
normally when you come to campus, like for the first time, you usually go and like pick up the keys to your apartment, or depending on how they let you in, you get like an email with like information on how to get in, and then you pick up your parking pass, and then you come to campus and you pick up your books if you've like need to get textbooks, and then you get your campus parking pass if you have one of those. And so there's a lot to do like on move-in day.
Yeah.
Like,
Stressful.
yeah, move-in day is very chaotic.
Yeah. Grocery shopping on move-in day that week even is really hard. I feel like the Walmart is pillaged, which
Oh my gosh.
Like, shelves are cleared.
shelves are
Apocalyptic.
clean.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like just being aware of those things. The traffic is usually pretty bad, but obviously that's not like avoidable situations. That's just kind of is how it is. But if you can go grocery shopping at the Walmarts in Idaho Falls, because there's 2 of them. But even those get impacted too, because it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, move-in day, there's a lot to do, but it's also really fun.
Yeah.
Like there's activities, usually like the move-in day, they have an event that night because they're like, everybody's here. Let's throw a party.
Yeah.
That's so party. Yeah. No, I think, especially with grocery shopping, like what you're saying, right? Because, dude, like if you go, there's certain days where, man, especially at the beginning of the semester or even during the semester, like I feel like Mondays and Saturdays are probably right. Like
I
the
agree.
busiest.
Saturdays are the busiest for sure.
But yeah, like moving, like if you don't make it a few days before moving day, then I think you just got to kind of tough it out and wait a few days for it to die down because you're going to go and there's not going to be half the stuff that you need, Like everyone needs, for the most part, the same stuff, right? When you're moving in. So you got to be careful.
Yeah. No, you definitely do. It's like, I think the thing that always got me on move-in day was like, I'd show up to my apartment and I'm like, just got done with this like long road trip and I'm like, I need to pee, but there's no toilet paper in the apartment. Like when they say it's furnished, your furniture's there, but there's no trash cans, there's no toilet paper, there's no soap. Like there's not even like, oh, welcome to the apartment, here's one, which like I'm sure that cost would be a lot more than I think. Sure. So like I understand, but it's just like one of those things where take this into consideration because every time you go, there's none of these things. There's no trash cans, soap dispensers, toilet paper, paper towels. There's no shower curtain rings or shower liner. And then everybody raids Walmart or whatever store they can get to, and everybody in your apartment buys one, and now you have 6. And now you have way too many.
You go from 0 to 6.
Communicate.
No,
Communicate with the roommates.
No, and so that is like, I'm like, please just like reach out to your roommates and designate one person to bring like one of each thing, or maybe 2 if you have like multiple bathrooms and like, whatever. But just like try really hard to coordinate because otherwise you get like redundancies and then it's just like, I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
Like, bro, we have 6 shower curtains. We don't need these,
Yeah.
Why did I spend all this money?
Or like 8 bath mats or like there's just so many things. Like I can't even tell you how many like duplicates I've experienced in my time like moving in. But so I just think like best practices include like pre-ordering your books like at the bookstore. I did that my very first semester and I thought it was so easy. Like I just walked in, picked up my books and walked out instead of like running around trying to find my book. Oh, do they have it? Oh, they're out. And you can also order like if you're a new student, something else, I guess. But something else if you're a new student is to use any of the athletic facilities on campus. You need to wear a uniform.
Yep.
And you can buy those through the bookstore and you can order that with your textbooks. And so you can just like pre-order all of that. So if you're like planning on going to the gym or like running on the track or playing basketball, you need to order that uniform.
Very true.
I think for new students especially, getting your books, like you're saying, pre-ordered, I think that it's much more crucial, I think, for freshmen and new students just because like, when you're taking all those generals, everybody's taking that same kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So the books are a lot harder to get a hold of. When you're in upper level classes, it's like, these are more niche. You don't have to worry about it as much, right? Like this semester, I have one textbook for one class and I went, a couple days into the semester and there were still like 20 or 25 of those books left, But especially for new students, you gotta get
those
on
like
that.
entry level classes, those like general credits.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It can feel really frantic, but something to remember is that BYU-Idaho is like built for a lot of people. So it's like, even if you feel like there's nothing, no toilet paper, there's too many shower curtains, your books aren't there, like you just might have to be patient, but it will all work out.
It'll be fine.
It will just be just fine.
Yeah. And if you ever like come and you're like worried about where to find things, like freshman orientation is great to go to, and they provide you with like a tour of campus, so you know like what buildings are what.
Yes, and they have the tour guides. You can sign up, and they will walk your class schedule with you, which is really helpful the day before.
Don't we know a tour guide? Speaking of tour guides,
Oh yeah,
Alex Batman.
boy, Alex Batman from the radio station.
Mr.
Let's
Specifically
go.
request him.
Yeah, let's go.
Awesome.
Yeah, he is awesome.
And he's Batman, so.
Batman. His last name is literally Batman, bro. Like,
Literally.
can't go wrong.
Literally. No, yeah. So there's like a lot of ways. Like the university has like tons of resources. Please don't be afraid to use them or like ask literally anybody. Like when you first get on campus, they're usually wearing like the same colored shirt.
Yeah.
When they're like helping freshmen, and they're all just like wearing matching polos usually. And so usually they've got like answers to all your questions or can help you find answers to all your questions. So please utilize them because they're awesome. And I think the biggest thing for move-in day is to just come prepared to be patient.
Yeah.
It's good advice.
because everybody on the roads doesn't know where they're going or is from out of town and just
Yeah.
doesn't know like all the things that they need to, about driving in a local new place. And so there's a lot of traffic, like Grace said, and you can't really do anything about it. And like the grocery stores do get raided, like
yeah.
it's an unavoidable fact. So
Yeah.
try your best to buy as much as you can before you get to town. And then, just there are multiple grocery stores in town. Walmart's usually the most cost effective for many people so that you do have options. But yeah, so just like come prepared to be patient because I think it is so easy to come in town and just be like, who are all these freshmen?
Yeah.
They don't know where they're going. And then you're just like, okay, I need to like calm down. I was literally that freshman
Yeah.
like 4 years ago.
No,
Like,
seriously, I'm like, wait a minute, that used to be me.
yeah, like 100% was me. And I was just like, wow, look at this random place. Like just wide-eyed. Like,
Mhm.
I never been to Idaho before.
I love Rexburg.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's just one of the things about move-in day that's like my little kernel of advice. Do you guys have any advice for people when they come on move-in day?
I mean, I think the main thing, kind of what we've just been talking about, is just be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like don't wait until move-in day for all of these things.
Yeah.
Get ready for them beforehand. Make sure that you have all these things figured out, at least as much as you can before move-in day, right? So, obviously we're already, into this semester, but for next semester, for future semesters, right? Be ready for that because it's a lot easier when you're planned ahead.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
Yeah. I think too, with that, like, don't be afraid to ask questions. I remember my freshman year, I didn't know like where a building was. And for some reason, I was like, there's no one to ask. So I literally just called the BYU-Idaho phone number listed on Google. And I'm like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be. This is what it says. And they like helped me and talked me through it and it worked out. So it's like, really don't be afraid. But I think my advice is actually not towards freshmen, it's towards everybody else. Because I think that we can be really helpful for freshmen. It's not hard to notice that someone's lost. Like you can tell when someone doesn't know where they're going or where they're supposed to be. So I feel like just offering a helping hand, remembering what it was like for you when you were a freshman. And then also like the incoming freshman, just ask anybody. Like seriously, anybody. If you make eye contact with anyone, they already notice you. So just ask them.
Yeah.
And they will help you. Because I feel like that's what I feel like not this semester, but the last semester. I helped out on the first day of school. I helped out a couple people find their classes. And you could tell they're like about to like cry. They're so stressed, everything else. And I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
you got this.
You can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I love that. It's just like try to reach out to people, especially when you have like roommates that are coming in as freshmen, or like maybe somebody like from your ward or from your stake or from your mission or whoever, right? However you know them that is like coming up here for the first time. Like don't be afraid to like offer them some advice or, hey, if you ever need a ride to Walmart, like, let's go kind of a thing. Cause that was like huge for me. I had a cousin who did that for me my first semester and that was like a lifesaver for me. But yeah, so just try to like befriend them and offer them assistance. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Jack.
Cool.
We've loved having you.
It's been a pleasure.
Next episode, we'll be diving into more things we wish we knew before we started school at BYU-Idaho and lived in Rexburg. So look for that. You've been listening to The Spot, a production of BYU-Idaho Radio. Today's hosts were
Jack Esplin.
Abigale Maxfield.
Grace Andrus.
The views and opinions of this podcast are not that of BYU-Idaho Radio or the university and are solely the opinions of the hosts. Our theme music is Finding Happiness by DJ Quads and The Perpetual Ticking of Time by Artificial Music. Subscribe to The Spot, available on all music streaming platforms, or visit our website byui.edu/radio and click podcasts. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at BYUI_The Spot. Have a topic in mind? Leave us a comment and let us know what we should talk about next. Awesome. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.